Master. So in this short video, this short live stream, I'm just gonna announce I've got a few tech videos coming up here soon. I don't see any reason why I can't do those live. Usually I pre-record most of my videos unless I'm playing like Fortnite or something, or Fire Emblem, which those will almost always be live streams. So for those of you who don't know, I upgraded the seating in my office. This is my office in my apartment here in Lawrence, Iowa. It's not the greatest, but I really like the angle and direction and setting of my office. I do need to find an additional tabling area, which I may put like in that corner for the TV. Now, the primary reason I have this TV actually isn't for nostalgic purposes. It's actually more for testing the NES laser gun. So for like duck hunt and stuff like that. So I have to test all equipment before it goes out. Luckily, a church had thrown this out a couple years ago, and I picked it up off the side of the alleyway. And luckily it worked. And it actually works fairly well, especially on Dreamcast games. So I have my Dreamcast. I believe that's a V0, if I'm not mistaken, where I can burn games on my computer and actually play them in the Dreamcast. And playing Hydro Thunder on the Dreamcast on this is absolutely astonishing. It really brings me back to the 90s. So we have the upgraded. This was actually an inflatable couch, and believe it or not, it came about half the size of this tube TV. And it was shipped to me, mailed to me, and it was not that difficult bringing it up the stairs. I'm on the top floor. They also sell it in a 3-seater. And so I really love this couch. My dog loves this couch. You guys can check me out, Kyle Owens, on my personal Facebook page. I got a couple of videos showing just how much me and my dog love this new upgraded seating in my office. There is a drawback. So before I had this, I was using this recliner, and I could actually put my keyboard on my lap and my mouse here. So if I wanted to play computer games with the keyboard and mouse, I could do that. Unfortunately, I can't do the same with that couch. The material is different, so the laser mouse doesn't really work. So what I did is we have purchased something that I hope will fix that problem, and we're going to unbox that here in this video while I'm making some of the tech video announcements. I believe I made a video about a week or two ago about some of these. It included that one. That's my garage security system. We're going to do a live stream of putting that together, including the soldering of the wire, and we're going to go more in depth and detailed on that. But I do have a new gaming build coming up. Now, this one here is for myself and my office and my gaming. So for those of you who actually, my office one that I'm using now isn't that bad. There's just some limitations on like Elder Scrolls Online and a couple other games that really require better graphics. And unfortunately, that one's a slim, and I actually had to cut the back part of the frame in order to fit the graphics card I currently have in there, which was with 2G, and it's an older version as well. This one here, I've already made sure it fits in here. Now, this tower is actually an XPS. All the siding is in one of the closets of my office. We have the card reader I removed. You guys know that the XPSs have the internal multi-card reader that plugs in down there and just kind of sits in the top part of the plastic of the casing. It's considered an internal component, but what I did was I had to actually use that for jailbreaking a couple game systems, as well as taking files from my printer that I scan, because I'm also a professional pro se litigant. So some of the documents that I have from some of the courts have to be scanned, and then of course it goes on the image onto the SD, and then I take that out. So we actually installed that SD externally to my desktop computer. It just kind of hangs out, and I'll show you guys just so you guys can see it. But yeah, that's the cool thing about computers and stuff, guys, is you can a lot of these parts you can still use them in other systems. So yeah, so this is from the XPS. You can see it, the multi-card reader. I know I got to clean that. I think some of that's tobacco. A lot of that's just tobacco and maybe a little spilled coffee and tea. I do got to clean it. But here's the XPS internal card reader. We just wired it up into there and connected it to the circuit board. So yeah, and then here on my printer. Now this printer here, actually, I purchased broken from a client of mine, and we fixed it. It has a card reader there. So some of the documents I have to scan for my legal stuff goes in there, goes on the SD card and goes in there. And then also my Wii U here, we jailbroke the Wii U. It requires a SD card for the data to run like Nintendo and stuff like that. So we had to put that into the work computer. Anyway, let me get on over here. So back to the build here, guys. We have for the XPS the maxed out processor. We had to order that. It's processor upgrade. Now this is the best processor. You guys can't see it with the live stream, or maybe you can a little bit. Not really. It's not really showing good. So yeah, I'm just gonna read it. This is the Intel Core i7. Oh, I can't even read it. I can't even read it. 3770, if I'm looking at that correctly. 3770, yeah. So, and then 3.4 is the base, and I believe so that's the base, 3.4 gigahertz. But then I'm pretty sure this actually goes to 4.1. So it's between 3.4 and 4.1, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong in that max. So this is actually the best processor you can put in this specific XPS system. So that's maxed out. And then I wanted to make sure I got, I believe this is 8 gigs of DDR3. I believe it's 8 or more. I can't remember. I'll have to look back into there, but this is going to be more than enough for any game ever that I'm doing here. And then I think I'm going to leave this, but then I also have a 3.5 floppy drive, so I'll be busting that out, and it goes really nice with the front of the XPS because there are 3 slots. So the 3.5 floppy drive will fit perfectly there. For those of you guys who don't know, there are a lot of 3.5 floppy games, as well as, the older 5-inch that you just can't get online for free download. And unfortunately, a lot of them haven't made their way to Steam yet, to where you can play them through Steam. A great example of that is actually Elder Scrolls Arena. So for many years, Elder Scrolls Arena was not available for download anywhere. You couldn't get like a ROM download on the internet. And then Bethesda finally decided that they were going to make it available as a free download on their website. So this was many years ago. So then people were able to download it. But the problem was, after you downloaded Elder Scrolls Arena from the Bethesda website, you then had to have internet connection for it to actually boot up. Otherwise, it wouldn't boot up without the internet connection. So that upset a lot of people because, back in those days, especially the 2009 depression, it was very hard for people to pay their bills and stuff. And then I believe in just the past 5 years, they decided to add it to Steam. So now it is available on Steam for free download as well. And that Steam version download actually doesn't require you to have internet connection. But that's just an example. There are many, many other 3.5 floppy games that just are not available online for download or on Steam. And so having physical media drives is very important to me. Another reason, some of you guys may be wondering, why do I have this, right? Why am I having physical media drives besides the 3.5? So why would I have this, right? When you can like get everything software on the internet. And this is true. So the thing is, games like let's use Oblivion, for example. So the Oblivion is the anniversary edition on Steam, right? So that's actually true gamers want to play the original base game. And of course, like the first Witcher game as well, that's on Steam, is not the same as that came out on disc. So there's been a lot of changes actually for like The Witcher 1 as well as Elder Scrolls Oblivion and stuff like that. So having the physical media disc, and then also another thing, because I burn my Dreamcast games, so I'll need that for burning my Dreamcast games. And then also because I buy and sell PS1 and PS2 games, I get them super cheap. I have to test all the games, and so I don't have a PS1 or PS2. We load it into there, and then it'll be able to be tested on the emulators. So I think I'll be putting this together here in a couple of days. I have spring break next week, so I'll have some time. And then over here is the PSU. We just got the PSU for this. Now, this is an 80 gold, and I believe it's 800 watts, 750 or 800, I can't remember. So we got that as well. I also believe it's brand new, so we shouldn't have any problems with that or any of the connections. I've already made sure of all that. So we'll get that together. And then I have something else. So I'm also going to be doing, many years ago, I ran like a small taxi service. And so I figured I'm going to do that again just to make some extra money on the side. So I had to get my trucking GPS from when I used to be a full-time trucker. And unfortunately, I'm pretty sure it's the battery. So at least that's as much as I can tell from everything. I took it all apart. We don't have anything showing indication of being burnt out or defective. And we lifted that up and looked at the back as well. So everything indicated the battery. So we got a new battery for that. We'll be putting that in, making a video of that as well. And then now onto this. So you guys are going to get to see my new gaming setup here. Let me see here. Let me go over here. Go into the office here. I'm just going to bust it open right on the couch. This is from Walmart.com. So for those of you who are real gamers and actually sit at a desk and play video games, or if you're working in an office all day, every day, and I happen to be doing both, you're not going to sit in a computer chair, right? Because your ass gets numb after a few hours. So if you have an actual computer chair at your office desk or your gaming area, you're not a real video gamer. I'm going to tell you that now. You have to have a recliner or a couch like me. This here, I'm actually not going to put it together in this video. I'm just going to bust it open and kind of show you guys what I'm going to do with this. So this here, this is the top. This is the base. This goes on the floor here like that. And then that will obviously go like that. And I'm probably going to have it at that level because it's perfectly above there. And then this will be screwed onto there like that. So that will fit perfectly. That goes right over there. And then what will happen is I'll slide it into the center. So like it'll be right here, right in the center. And then I'm going to sit down and show you guys here. So this is where I sit at. And then another reason I got this couch was because of my dog, Jack. I'm literally sitting at the computer 12 hours, 7 days a week. So that's how much work I've been doing in the last 3 months. Let me show you guys here. Go like that. And I'll be able to slide that under. Actually, I'm going to do that right now. I'll lift it up here. Oh, there we go. There we go. So that's how it's going to look. And so this is when you guys see me live streaming PC games or games from Steam going forward or pre-recorded. This is how it's going to be done. It's going to be done just like that. And then this, I actually might scoot over just a little bit and it'll be like that. And then I'll be able to have my mouse down here like this. It actually works great, even though I have a gaming mouse pad coming as well. I'm going to put on it. But yeah, and then my keyboard right here. So you guys can see now, I have my keyboard and my mouse like this. And it's just really nice. So yeah, that's how that's going to be. That's my setup now. And especially when I'm playing like Mountain Blade, because I've been having to lean up. And for a 12-hour stream of that is ridiculous. I feel like I'm climbing a mountain when I'm done. All right, guys, so stay tuned, and we will be back with those tech videos. Thank you.